You know what time it is. You know what time it is.
How firm thy friendship. Oh, how
you know what time it is. I'm brawl with them boys of the fall. You know what time it is. On the ground with a nose for the ball. You know what time it is. Blood, sweat, and them tears for this game. Leaving it all out on the field with no fear for you lames. Yeah, you know what time it is. Come brawl with them boys of the fall. Covered in gray and scarlet, massive, stiff arms to your jaw. We breaking it. We sick of seeing you clowns with the crown. We taking it.
What up, Buckeye Nation? Welcome to the Buckeye Boys, where we talk about college football with real fans. I'm Devan. That's Melo. And the Buckeyes have been busy today. But how you doing, Melo?
Man, I'm good. You know, I had to rock the LA hat, you know, getting ready for the Rose Bowl.
I see you over there. I haven't talked to people about it all day. I got a buddy who's from Long Beach, and he said that nobody's going to kill me, so we're good.
All right, that's good.
So he said my size helps with that, and I said, yeah, dude. The other dude coming too, he's a pretty big dude as well, so I think we're going to be good, man. Yeah, dude, I've been running around all day. I had a couple work things to tighten up and stuff, so I really didn't check and what's going on. I'm normally all over my phone, up to date on the message board, so I just looked and realized that we got 3 commitments today out of the portal and a crystal ball for one. I'm most excited about the crystal ball, so we got a crystal ball for which – I'm not sure how much it actually means.
Tackle, but I don't know. I'm not pronouncing his name, might be.
Yeah, isn't it Ethan Alwiano or something like that?
That sounds great.
Yeah. So, yep, one of the top offensive tackles in the portal. Obviously, a great need. We'll see if the crystal ball is actually real or not. But I'm gonna be honest with you, man. The one I'm most excited about. I don't think it was a huge position of need, but I think it completely changes the dynamic of this room is Max Clair, the number 1 tight end in the portal. I think he's a redshirt sophomore, so we're going to have him for, at least
2 years.
Another 2 years. This dude had 51 passes for 685 yards and 4 receiving touchdowns. I believe he's originally from Cincinnati as well.
Yeah.
So he's a baller, bro. He's like a legit baller. So what's your thoughts on snagging him, man?
Man, I think it's awesome. Because Kaz Merrick is a senior, right? He's done.
Yeah,
so you're losing Kaz, you're losing G. We definitely needed him.
Yeah.
I like the 2 freshmen that are coming in. They're elite as well. Especially Nate Roberts. So I think the room looks good. And especially, I didn't bring this up. I just saw it today, and Jelani posted on the stories. But did you see him light that Tennessee?
Yes, because the refs didn't blow the play dead, and he's like, bro, I don't hear no whistle. He absolutely trucked him.
He cleaned his clock.
Sonny Styles and Jelani Thurman both absolutely trucked people during that game. It was amazing.
Lathan Ransom too. He had a big hit.
Yeah. Yo, shout out Funky Buck over there on the scoop board. He actually announced this like a week ago. That was my inside source on how I knew we were getting Clair, because if he puts something up, it's normally true. And he said a while ago we were getting him, and he was the only one. Everybody else was like, nah, we ain't getting no tight ends in the portal, nothing like that. So shout out Funky over there on the scoop board. If you're not on the scoop board, go check it out, man. A lot of good stuff going on over there. The next one that's interesting, and I love it because we need some help in there, is the defensive end from Idaho State, Logan George. Wasn't he one of the highest-rated FCS players? He's fantastic against the run. He had like the highest-rated double team out of the FCS, so I like it. Good pickup, man. There's examples for days of defensive ends coming out of FCS and just tearing it up. The one at Florida State last year, what was his? I forget his name, but he was in
Verse that came from Buffalo.
Oh yeah, Jared Verse. That's what it was. Yeah. You're good, bro. But so I don't pay attention to where they come from, man. The dude The dude, I'm just excited we added defensive. We needed it, man. Offensive tackle, defensive end. That was
Yep.
it, man. And
Got
then
that running back
another,
too.
yeah, another great pickup, the WV West Virginia running back, CJ Donaldson Jr. He had like 7 100-yard games for them. Started some games and whatnot, but he's a big old
I
dude.
like his
200.
size. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, dude.
6'2", 238 pounds.
Yeah, bro.
My question to you, this is it. This is why I'm glad we got to the running back. What does that mean? Because we all thought that since the running back, transfer running back from USC, we didn't pick him up. Now this Haynes is going to the team up north. I always thought it was,
Is he?
yeah, I always thought it was because Q was coming back and like we weren't chasing hard. But now that we went and got this guy, do you think Q is going to leave?
Yeah, I think Q's.
Clear.
I think Q's already told him he's gone. There was a lot of those rumblings, but I just feel like that decision's already been made. I think he's gone because that's the only reason we would get one. I mean,
Yeah,
because without Q, you do want a more veteran running back in the room because James Peoples would have been our most experienced running back next year.
yeah,
Um, so you got to go get somebody. And all those running backs in our room, they got to understand that. They got to understand us going in and picking somebody up. You know what I mean? Having some um, competition in that room. I love it, man. So
yeah.
that dominant win over Tennessee, dude. I had a feeling, I meant to bring that up, but I was just too excited about the play on the field. But I had a sneaking suspicion that when you perform like that on the field, good things are going to happen off the field. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, we continue this run. I think more of these kids that have visited us in the portal are going to realize this is the place to be, man, because, it is. When you watch a performance like that, like you got all these other teams in the playoffs. You had Penn State beat SMU. I mean, beat SMU. I'll say it again. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously. The Texas Clemson game, I thought was, I was unimpressed with either team. That's just me. That's just me.
I'm with you there, actually.
Um, and then what was the other game?
Notre Dame, Indiana. That
Notre
was
Dame and
actually the closest game
yeah,
out of the whole weekend.
Notre Dame and Indiana, and you saw what we did to Indiana. So, and we didn't even play that good on offense. So it's
Yeah.
like, Tennessee was by far, the Tennessee Ohio State was by far, and we made it look like the easiest game.
Right.
So, just my opinion there. And I think, a lot of these portal guys are seeing that. So I love these pickups, man. What are your thoughts on all these pickups, and what do you think the rest of the portal is going to look like, or what are you hoping we pick up in the portal?
I think these pickups were greatly needed. I think we still need a little help at safety now that we had Bonsu hit the portal. We were already thin there a little bit. We still probably need another DN, and then I'm still looking for a little more O-line help. I like that we picked up a running back, especially if Q's going to jet. To help add depth and experience to the room, like you already said. I highly believe in the running back room, the freshmen that are coming in and who already is there. So I think they're on the right track. My thing is, would you go after the Branch brothers? One's a wide receiver, one's a safety. So you kill at least one position of need and you upgrade probably the wide receiver room, but Hartline doesn't like taking transfer portal wide receivers, and I think that's part of his recruiting pitch as well. Would you go out and grab both of them?
Honest opinion, no, man. I would not. Let me just give you my reasoning. I love our wide receiver room. Absolutely love it. I don't think we need zero help there, but I understand that's not the main reason for it. I understand the safety. I'm not impressed with his brother at safety in the first place. I think he's had like 4 tackles in his career in college. And also, if you look at our safety room, you got Hartford, you got Caleb Downs, you got Jalen McClain, who I don't know if you noticed, but when he was in that game, he was always around the ball, always, and that dude can hit, bro.
Man, I saw him stick one
can
dude. I
hit,
just
dude.
finished watching the game again. He stuck
Yeah.
one dude. Dude sat down like he was about to go in Indian style, like you were in timeout in preschool. Man, that was hilarious.
Yeah, and then you got Fahim Delane coming in. who I think can make an impact. So shout out everybody in the chat, man. Steely, Dennis, Mark, Vader. Appreciate all y'all members, man. John, appreciate you. Shaun Rollins. My Aunt Chris is in there. Taco, Daryl, Steve, Tyler, Lisa. Let's see, did I get
The whole
everybody?
family's here.
Mika, Mr. Buck Nuts. What up, dude? Yeah, bro.
Zilla.
Everybody, man.
Yo.
Appreciate you joining us tonight, man. Doug Zilla. And then can't remember Kenneth. I think that's him, dude. I think he changed his name. Sorry if I
What's up, Mika? She got a question.
Yeah. Why isn't Mike Green being picked up? I don't know. Is he in the portal? I think most of Bowling Green entered the portal. I do think that happened. Or wait, it's Marshall, Bowling Green, right?
Yeah.
I think most of. I don't even know if he's in the portal, Mika. Is he in the portal? Because that would be a good one to go get. But, you watch Kenyatta Jackson, you watch Caden Curry. Is Mitchell Melton done? I think. Uncle Tom's watching too. Yo, what up, Uncle Tom? I could tell some funny stories right now. I'm not going to. Chris and Tom, you're welcome.
Were you about to ask? You say Mitchell Melton. You were asking about him.
Yeah, is he done?
I think he had one more year because he had a couple of injury red shirts.
Oh yeah. He's definitely gonna have some injury red shirts. Yeah, that's true. So here's where I'm at in the portal. I wouldn't be mad if we went up and got another defensive end. Larry Johnson has signed 2 really good recruits this year, but been his last couple classes we've not so many numbers there. I would like a little more numbers in those rooms. But offensive line, man, I really want, like you said, I really want that offensive lineman from Northwestern, dude.
Yes.
Wow. So if we sign that tackle from Rice, if we get the Northwestern guy, then to be honest with you, bro, I still think we should go out and try to get either another swing guy or another tackle, even if they're not highly ranked or whatever. Just get some more bodies in that room, get the competition going. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I just feel like that's what we should do. Because we're, even before we lost Zen, we were talking about needing 4 or 5. We just lost Zen. Zen's gone.
Did you know he played in the freaking game?
I saw that. Yeah. But
this is so crazy, though.
But he did say
portal and playing in the game still.
Yeah, he did say he's going to stick it out for the game because we do. You never know. We'll need depth.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. I think what's happening is like the guys that are staying that hit the portal, they had to hit the portal because of some kind of date. They had to be in by a certain date. And so they didn't want to hit the portal yet because they want to finish out the season with the team, but they had to. Plus, how's it going to work when, they could go to the Rose Bowl because second semester hasn't started. But after the Rose Bowl, second semester is going to start. Yeah. So if they enroll at their new school, I don't think they can play for us.
Yeah, Devin Brown, who's our, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so like, how are they going to navigate this?
I'll tell you something real fast. I just have this feeling, and you know how I am with these feelings. I just have this feeling that, if we go out there and we beat Oregon and get some momentum going, that Zen might stick around. You know what I'm saying? Not that he should, because I just don't know if he's going to ever have a role here, but
yeah,
they might convince him to stick around, man. I just don't know what his intentions are. Is he trying? Is he one of those that thinks he can play in the NFL? He might be. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? We only saw him in the end of the Oregon game, which I think he did okay, right? And then
he did good.
Some other games, the Nebraska game where he didn't do so hot.
He was getting worked like a turnstile.
But that was one game.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I'm saying? So people can change it around. So we'll see what happens, man.
You might think I'm nuts, but this is my bold prediction. I feel like we need some depth pieces, but I feel like we already have good enough pieces that next year, if we get the Northwestern guy and we just keep what we have, that we'll still have an elite D line. I was watching the Armstrong brothers. Man, they look massive compared to when they first came in. I feel like Mick really did his job. I'm not as concerned with the O-line as I was. I am concerned with the recruiting at a high school, though, because that's how you that's the foundation, and it always should be, and especially in the
Yeah.
26 class with the Ohio kids. Like, you go get every one of those Ohio kids, and then you swing and miss. You swing for the fences for the number one tackle wherever they may be. But you need when you have kids that are that elite, you just get them all and you take them,
Yeah.
especially with more scholarships on the roster now.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we got one of the Armstrong twins is a guard, one is a tackle. They're, I haven't heard much about their play in practice. But like you said, pretty big upside there, I believe. But we got Ian Moore, George
Yep.
Fitzpatrick.
Luke, I love Luke.
Yeah, Luke, good. He showed up and showed out. So we'll see what happens, man. You know what I'm saying? Keep this momentum going. Things are only going to get better for us. I love all the pickups so far. There's not a single one where I'm like, dang, why'd we get that dude? I watched Logan George's film, and everybody, of course, everybody's going to say, "Oh, FCS, man." Just watch out, man. I'd be careful saying that too awful much, but um, so yeah, man, we were supposed to do a show with college football with Sam, that YouTube show today. He had to cancel. We were going to do that at 8:30, so this is kind of a surprise little show for us. We were going to talk about the playoffs with him and whatnot, but that's kind of what I want to get into, man. I just want to briefly go over some of these other matchups that we got going on. So let's start. Penn State, Boise State. Just a quick thought there, man. What you think is going to happen?
It'll be over by halftime. That's exactly what I think is going to happen. Boise can't do anything. Everybody knows Genty is getting the ball. He's going to get hit a lot and hard. That Penn State defense is very good, and they're gonna go ahead and cruise to a dub. That's going to be a blowout.
Yeah. And dude, why can't I remember the other matchups that are going on? What's
You
going
got
on
Texas and Arizona State. That's going to be a blowout.
Yeah, to Texas and Arizona State. And then who's the next one?
Notre Dame and UGA. Now this is going to be a good one. So
yep.
The thing with this game, I see it as low scoring. I don't think it's going to be high scoring. We don't know what Gunnar Stockton can do, but even if he can throw, the wide receivers have the most drops in all of college football. Their wide receivers have brick hands. They can't catch a cold. So, I mean, and then you go in against Notre Dame's one of their strengths. Their defense is legit. We know that. Their secondary is amazing. So it's going to be a low scoring. I think whoever has the best field goal kicker wins that game. I wouldn't be surprised if Notre Dame upsets UGA. I don't feel like UGA is that strong. But if you go on to and watch their beat reporters and their podcast, they still swear this is 22 Georgia, 21 Georgia team. And they're not. They're not that. Their O-line is shaky at best. And their D-line is okay. It's above average, but they're not elite.
Yeah, I got you. We got Shaun Schrock in the building. He's going to join us here.
What's up, Mr. Schrock?
What's going on, guys?
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
You got anything to add about these portal pickups today? I saw John in the chat. Yeah, man, we talked about Max Clare, the number one tight end in the portal. We're stoked to get him. He's going to be a weapon for the Buckeyes, especially in Chip Kelly's offense next year. But, Shaun, you got anything to add for the portal?
I like having a big back, man. He's different than the other backs that we got. Someone that can come in and get the tough yardage. I mean, 6'2", 230 pounds. I mean, big dude, man. He can grind out the tough yards, short yardage back, goal line back. I'm pumped because we got the speedster Turbo Rogers. I mean, Bo Jackson coming in and Terrence West. I mean,
Isaiah West.
Sorry. Terrence West was a Browns running back. Got them all mixed up there.
I was like, yeah.
There's only one football team in Ohio that matters.
Exactly. Right now, no doubt.
So, Shaun, we were diving into the Penn State, Boise State, Arizona State, Texas, Georgia, Notre Dame, and then we're going to hit the Buckeyes a little bit. But, yeah, I think Penn State handles business with Boise State. I see a lot of people in the chat talking about don't sleep on Arizona State against Texas. Yeah, I mean, I guess you never know, but
I don't think that's likely.
Nah, I don't either. I mean, I'm not.
But I would love to see it. I'm not going to lie, but I
Yeah.
don't think it's likely.
That's the one upset that I had picked on mine was Arizona State.
What made you pick that?
I think they're hot right now, and I like that Cam Scatterboo, and I think they're playing with an edge. I love that coach. He's got them believing in themselves, and they play hard. I mean, they go out and they play every down. I mean, they play to the whistle. You're going to get a full game out of them, and they're just – I mean, they've been peaking at the right time, kind of like what we're doing right now, except we're a much more talented team. But they're playing good ball right now.
Yeah.
So I want to read this real quick, if you don't mind. Santee, remember, blows my mind that UGA literally handpicks O-line and D-line players at a high school and have a line that plays as poorly as they do on both sides of the ball. So Santee, you also have to remember, yes, they're elite in high school, but if you don't develop properly, then, I mean, you just stay at the same stage and it's going to show while other teams are developing, because you might be a 5-star here. There's not much difference between 5 and 4 stars. And if that 4-star is going to outgrind you and he's getting coached up better than you, he's going to surpass you. At minimum, going to be even with you, right? So that's why I've said what I said yesterday. I think you got to be out of your mind if you're a D lineman, a linebacker, a DB, a quarterback, or a wide receiver, even O-line, if you look at it, as much as we kill Fry. The development is noticeable. Like, you cannot deny the development here, even the tight end room. If you look at the beginning of the season to now, the tight end room is leaps and bounds better. So at the end of the day, I just think, like, and yes, I am a homer. I don't really care, but it's obvious. The film shows it. Like, it shows that the improvement in the development, like, kids have gotten better. So that's why I said you got to be out of your mind not wanting to come here. Ohio State should be at least in your top 2. And if you're a quarterback or a wide receiver, they should be in your top 1, period.
There's something about development that a lot of people don't ever think about. If you're not surrounded with the right culture,
right,
while you're being developed, that's going to hinder you a lot. And let's be honest, let's look at Georgia's culture. Now, we don't know everything. We're not in there. We don't know what's going on. But, you know, where there's smoke, there's normally fire. If it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, and acts like a duck, it's a freaking duck, dude. I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? So, you see all this stuff going on over there. It might have something to do with it. You know what I mean? So, but Notre Dame, Georgia game, it's going to be very interesting. I think it's going to go either way. Which team's going to show up, man? And which Carson Beck is going to show up on that field, dude?
They got Gunnar Stockton. That's what I'm saying. We don't know what you're going to get from Gunnar. Now, Gunnar, he could run way more effectively than Carson Beck. But can he throw? And I mean, even if he can throw, like I said, their wide receivers lead the entire country in drops. I've never seen anything like it.
Now, Stockton, he really highly touted out of Georgia?
Yeah, he was. He was.
And they claim he's up on the level. I mean, high school wise, the hype around him, like Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields when he was coming out.
I mean, they tried to UGA tried to spin it like that, but he was never on their level, straight up.
Yeah, I mean, when you watched him get in the game, the little bit he did play, I mean, the team rallied around him, played real hard. I mean, he threw an interception, I do believe, if I remember correctly, coming in. So we'll see what he does. You know what I mean? But I don't really I'm not too concerned with those games. Oregon, Ohio State. That's the one I'm concerned with. But before we get to that, Shaun, since we didn't hear from you, I just want to hear your thoughts, bro, on the performance that we saw, 42-17, the absolute smackdown of the SEC. The Rocky Top, we changed Rocky Top. It's no longer a mountain. It's a little hill. It's the Rocky Top Hill. So there's a little hill over there in Tennessee called Rocky Top that we smashed. So give us your thoughts on that real fast, man.
Well, one thing is I thought that should have been the game plan for the Michigan game that they came out with, honestly. I mean, that's the way that should have been what they did to Michigan. But that's the past. I'm happy that they came out with the passion, the fire. Chip was in his bag. They didn't leave. I mean, you could tell they were coaching like their jobs were on the line, man. I mean, where was that all year? I mean, that offense, they went tempo right away. I mean, why didn't they do that the whole year? I mean, for some reason, he wanted to run a slow offense this year, and he just cut it loose, man.
Well, he had a good reason. If you listen to what he said, and we brought this up yesterday because I asked Dev if he thought it was true or not. I'm going to ask you the same thing and let you continue to talk. So Coach Day said the reason they were running a slower pace, is it takes snaps away and off the body of the players because they knew it was going to be a long season. They were planning on going on a natty run and they were going to win the natty. So they wanted to reduce how many numbers of hits they were taking throughout the course of the game and over a season, and then they were going to ramp it up during the playoffs. Now, do you think that's just a very beautiful, convenient lie, or do you think that was the truth? Because either way, you can't cut it. I mean, you can't prove that it's not true. And it sounds like somebody that's a genius thought of something like that, if that's the case, right? So what's your thoughts on that? You think he's just lying, or you think like he was being up and up?
Sounds like coach speak to me. I mean, honestly, it sounds like BS, but like you said, we'll never know the truth. I mean, he could be a genius and be thinking that way, or it could just be a bunch of BS. But
Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. Um, this is just me speaking in the moment, and I know that we got to talk about this stuff.
sure,
But for me, right now, I don't really give a dang what they did do. I care what they,
gonna do.
what they're gonna do. And it
Yeah.
looks like what they're gonna do is continue because it worked great. This little tempo, Melo brought it up perfectly. I think when people think tempo, they think what Tennessee did, and that's run up there super fast and snap it as quick as they can. Nah, man, you don't have to do that. You know what I mean? It's just picking it up just a little bit, and it worked beautifully. So that's what I care about, what we're about to do, and it looks like they've made that change. So,
Yes, sir.
So
Well,
Shaun,
some people don't realize though, Dev, when you run tempo, you have to win on first down. I mean,
oh
you got
yeah,
to get, you got to get 5 yard, you got to get positive plays. If not, you could go 4 and out really quick and your defense is back on the field and you can gas your defense. So they have to stay ahead of schedule and you got to win first down to be able to run it.
yeah. So I guess we're gonna dive into the game a little bit, man. We're gonna dive into our thoughts on the Quack Quacks and Ohio State, man. So this is gonna be the second time, right, that Ohio State has played Oregon this year. That's only happened, I believe, 7 times in Ohio State history that we've played the same team twice.
Yep.
I heard Ryan Day talk today a little bit on the college football playoff. He had an interview and got brought up. Do you do the same game plan? Does it help? Well, the truth is, both teams are different now. You know what I mean? We played them pretty early in the season, our fifth game of the year, I believe, or fourth, something like that. So we're different. We're a completely different team now than we were. I mean, we lost an All-American tackle, our All-American center, but we've Ryan Day gave a pretty good example, right? And I really didn't think of this that we lost those players and we had the Nebraska game. Then we didn't play that good. Then we had the Penn State game and the Indiana game. Never really showed up and showed out on offense too much. But now that there's been that time that they've got that stuff figured out, they've had a lot of reps together, the offensive line and whatnot. Now they've changed things around to play towards the strength of these players that have come in and taken place of the starters. And I brought up a pretty good point, man. For me, I just didn't think about that. I just expected, hey, a week is enough, get it figured out, go in there and play. And I think we saw that it wasn't. I think now there's been enough time, enough reps, enough practice, enough film to where Luke Montgomery and these Austin Saraville, Integra, and Donnie at tackle, but by the way, looked freaking phenomenal now, which is wild to me. They're gelling. And more importantly, the coaches know how they play better now. So Chip Kelly can use their skills better. Ryan Day brought that up. He said, hey, man, now we know these players better. We're going to call the game according to our players' strengths. Now they know them better. So that's what I'm excited to see, So I want to get your guys' thoughts on that. Do you think, both teams are different, and do you think we should continue this rotating the Luke and Austin as the swing guard and Tegra?
I think whatever's working, you go with. If your first guard's getting, I mean, if you look at Tigra, he had some bad plays in the first half. Whoever goes in there, if they're gelling and they're kicking butt right away, man, go with it. Don't mess with it. But if it doesn't work, stick someone else in. I mean, that's what I would do personally. Why mess with something that's working? You could end up screwing it up. And there's another point that I want to bring up. I want to get your guys' take on it. They've had a long layoff since they've played meaningful game. I mean, look at what happened to Ohio State back in 07 when they went to the Natty and they got killed by Florida. They had a really long layoff. I'm just wondering if this layoff's going to hurt them. I mean, that's a long time that they've been sitting. So we're not fresh, but I mean, we already got the rust knocked off and we're humming.
Melo,
They've
give
had
us
to
your
start-
thoughts on the offensive line stuff, and then we'll dive into that.
So for me, if you remember, I was freaking out when they first announced it. I mean, I was freaking out. I was like, dude, we're losing. We're going to lose this game. Like, who rotates the offensive line during the game? Like, intentionally. And then it worked out perfectly. So I give all the respect. I tip my cap to the coaching staff, to the players for executing. I think it was the right move. And I think we are going to see it. I think it actually allows them to stay fresh as well. And it keeps them hungry. Like, yo, I need to come in. I need to do something, make something happen. Otherwise, I'm not coming back in, you know? And it keeps the competition going throughout the game. And that's why I said, I believe our O-line is going to be perfectly fine next year. I really do.
Yeah. Isn't it wild, man? Isn't it so wild? You know, it takes a lot to kind of admit where, I mean, for me, I've been really hard on Justin Fry and whatnot, and there's still
All
some
of
things.
us.
There's still some things there, right? Like honestly, there's still some things there that are huge red flags. But to go from like freaking out and then watch one game and be like, "Hey, man, I'm really excited about our offensive line next year." The truth is, I mean, we can be excited, we can be sad, we can be mad, we can be glad, but we really don't know crap. You know what I'm saying,
Yeah,
bro? Like,
right.
we really don't know, bro. We can talk about it all day long and save the things we do know. But the truth is, the only thing that matters is what is put on the field. That's it.
Right.
Nothing else matters. We can talk about what happened in practice. We can talk about how many stars the recruit has. We can talk about how many visits. Nah, bro, none of it matters. What are you putting on the field? That's what matters. And
Exactly.
it's just wild, bro. But Shaun, what'd you bring up again? I forget already.
About the layoff, I know
Oh
they
yeah,
had
yeah,
a
yeah.
buy,
So I got a question though. How many days did the Buckeyes just have off compared to Oregon? Because Oregon played in the Big Ten championship game, we
I
didn't,
think it's the same. It was the same.
and that's kind of my opinion on that, Shaun. Is that
Gotcha.
I think it's either going to go either way. You know what I'm saying? I think, you saw what the Buckeyes did. They came out and looked like a brand new team in a good way, you know. But I will say this, I think every football team, it's really hard to play a perfect season. It's really hard to play really good football all year long and not have those games where you just really crash and burn. And some would say Oregon already did that in the beginning of the year. Well, they still won. They really haven't been through much. You know what I'm saying? The Buckeyes have been through an absolute emotional roller coaster, bro. They have been tested and tried in the most severe. We lost to our rival, dude. The fan base didn't even want. Some of the fan base didn't even want to go to the playoffs. Can you ask for a more up and down emotional roller coaster for the Buckeyes? So that's one thing that I like, man, is how much these Buckeyes have been freaking tested already. Look at what this team has been through.
Yep.
Losing the start, Josh, losing Seth, bro, losing to your rival, losing to Oregon by 1. Look what that did to Will Howard, and then look what we just came out and did. Dude, I don't think the Buckeyes are getting touched. I really don't, bro. I really, really don't. I think we've been through too much, and we were going to see one or two teams. We were going to see a Buckeye team that came out and it was just too much for them. You know what I mean? Losing these starters, the loss to Oregon by 1, the loss to the rival and the fan base beating them down left and right. I mean, you heard Will Howard talking. He saw everything the fan base was saying. I'm telling you, he saw everything everybody was saying about the offensive line, and they came out and they proved it. So I hear a lot of people talking about that, Shaun. I get why you brought it up. It's definitely a talking point, and you're going to have one or two opinions. It's going to affect them or it's not.
Yep.
I'm not so sure it is because you saw what the Buckeyes did. So, Melo.
I don't think it's going to affect them at all, but at the same time, I think it doesn't matter. I think it's going to be a heavyweight fight, and I think we're going to come out on top. This team is hungry. They got one goal in mind, one track in mind, and that's to annihilate and revenge Oregon in that game. And think about all the stuff that had to go right for Oregon in order to win by 1 point at home. I saw Dan Lanning's presser today. I was watching the same thing you watched, and trust me, he ain't the same Dan Lanning as when they interviewed him the first time that we asked. Like, he has a different demeanor, and he watched the game. He brought up the game. And he said that's the best game Ohio State played all year, and that they had their work cut out for them because they know.
Yeah.
We're going to have a whole different game plan. First off, you're going to run the hurry up. Guess what? We just had practice with the hurry up against Tennessee. The defense is going to be set. They're not going to be talking. They're not going to be doing all that. I'm sure they're going to play different coverage, press man more than likely, or on the corners, and they might roll over safety help. Play to the safeties deep as long as the front seven can get pressure. I think they're going to blitz more. I think you're going to see Dylan getting hit more. If you go and watch Penn State against Oregon, that was a really interesting game throughout. So Oregon could definitely be had. And if we play to our max potential and the coaches just let it rip, double-digit win.
Yeah. Shaun?
I mean, you got nothing to lose, man. Go for it. I mean, you lose, you're done. So there is no tomorrow.
Yeah, so it's kind of hard to talk about this game and not talk about what happened before, even though I'm not sure it really matters that much because the teams are different, bro. We're just different, bro. But I'm just gonna go ahead and do that, bro. If you go back and you look, Melo already said it. Look at everything that had to go their way. The onside kick. That's 1 in 1,000 times you're gonna do that. You know what I mean? And we're gonna miss that ball. Quinshon Judkins, wasn't that the only fumble by our running backs all year? I mean,
and
he
had surgery right after that game. Remember that?
Yeah, he had a hernia hand and whatnot. And then the big chunk plays, Denzel Burke getting burnt like he did and whatnot. Well, our defense is different now. You know what I'm saying? We just saw what our DBs did against Tennessee. Now, mind you, I understand it's a little bit different for receivers. You know, Oregon's receivers are way better than Tennessee's receivers, but I just don't see that happen again, man. Denzel Burke is a good defensive back. Iggy's a good defensive back. We got Lathan Ransom and Caleb Downs back there. We got Jordan Hancock. They're too good to let that crap happen twice.
Right.
It ain't going to happen. At least not the chunk plays. They might get us on some underneath stuff like we originally thought they were going to try to do. I could see that happening. But I like our odds. We got playmakers on our defense, bro. We got playmakers. The more plays and offense runs against our defense, the more I like our chances, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was the coaching staff, there would be no more scout team playing that first team defense. Our first team defense would be going up against JJ in practice. I mean, just so you can get the speed right, because there's no scout team guy that's going to, be able to give you a good enough look in practice right now.
Well, this would be a good day if they had Jaden Ballard because he's a burner. Yeah. He could replicate Taz or Evan Stewart. You still got Bryson Rogers. I think they got plenty. They got plenty receivers.
They got Mylan Graham in there. That dude's a freaking burner, bro.
And they got Brandon, and it's like, they're good.
Yeah.
They won't be caught. They won't be caught off guard this time by their speed, though. I think that took Burke by surprise was how fast those receivers were out of their cut.
You remember we were talking about how Burke kept staring in the backfield? It's because they weren't on the page yet. They hadn't had their plays in. They were communicating. So like with the Tennessee game that happened, they're going to be in position much quicker. I promise you. The play calls are going to be in. They're already going to know their assignment, and they're going to be ready to go. I'm telling you, watch. It's going to be a different game.
Yeah, I think this is a huge reason why it's going to be a different game as well. You just saw what our defensive line did to Tennessee's offensive line with just 4. You know, to be honest with you, I mean, I didn't catch too many blitzes against Tennessee. I just don't think it was needed. You know what I'm saying? So, like, for instance, if for some reason Oregon's offensive line holds up a little better, which I expect they will, you know, I expect some more of that Indiana stuff to come out and get in Gabriel's face, man. I'm telling you, our linebackers are better than they were when we played Oregon the first time. Our defensive ends are better. Our D tackles are better. We learned a lesson for rotations. There's not going to be a fourth quarter drive where they score. You know what I'm saying? Our defensive backs, better rotations. Jermaine Matthews is going to be in that game the whole time. He's an absolute dog. He'll play 30, 40 snaps against Oregon. Watch. He just showed that he can do it. So, different game. I like what Day said. Today. You know, everything's thrown out. They start from scratch. This is a new team. They're going to go back. They're going to look what Oregon has done, and they're going to come up with a new game plan. And with the way this coaching staff is thinking, attack, aggressive, I don't see us having a problem scoring, because let's be realistic. We didn't have too much trouble scoring already against them. We scored 31 points. You know what I mean? And we would have scored more than that, except we had a few things. And the sound at their stadium at home had a big impact on our offense. I was there. I promise. I couldn't even hear my girlfriend talking right beside me. This is a neutral site game. You know what I'm saying? And me and Melo are going, so they're going to have at least two people screaming at them when they're on offense.
Oh, I tell you what, if we drop that, if they lose again, don't bring them home, Melo.
If who loses again?
Oh, yeah. Don't bring me home.
That's bad luck. No more going to games if they lose.
I can't believe you just brought that up, Shaun. I was never going to bring that up, but I've thought about it multiple times. I'm like, dang, isn't it weird? The only two Buckeye games I'm going to this year are both against Oregon, and the first one we lost. Nah, I don't believe in that crap. It ain't happening, dude.
Yeah.
It ain't happening.
This is a true story. So I posted a picture of the Buckeyes with the roses, and I'm like, man, can't wait to get to Pasadena. This is going to be epic. And my cousin comments under there, make sure you leave Dev in Florida. I'm not lying to you. And I said, no, Dev is 100% definitely going. I don't know what you're talking about. He's definitely coming.
Well, hey, check it out. This is what I'm going with. Don't tell Angie I said this, but this is what's different. Angie's not going to be with me this time. She was with me.
See, there it is. There it is.
I don't think it's me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
No, I'm not bad luck. See, look what you got started, Shaun. I can't believe this, dude. Look at this, man.
That's not bad luck, man. Come on.
Nah, bro, it's a different team, man. We know it is, bro. So yeah, I like it. I expect along the lines of same offensive plan. But what I mean by that is just aggressive. You know what I'm saying? I expect more of a pass to open up the run mindset. And I don't know if you so check this out. When we played Penn State, how much success did they have throwing the ball?
Very little.
When Oregon played Penn State, how much success did Penn State having throwing the ball? Drew Aller looked like the number one pick in the NFL draft against Oregon's defense. So I think I think we'll take advantage of that. You know what I'm saying? I think that we'll be able to exploit some of Oregon's downfalls on the defense. But before some Oregon fan listens to this and says anything, Oregon is a very good football team. Okay, so there's no way we're going to go in there and just absolutely run through these dudes by not playing hard and not having a good scheme. I do think it can be a 2-touchdown win. It can be, right? If the ball rolls our way and the Buckeyes do what they just did. If they play like they played in Tennessee, I expect a 2-touchdown win.
Yep.
But how often does that happen? You know what I'm saying? But I still like our chances. I don't think we're going to have a problem scoring whatsoever at all, especially with the new mindset. Mika already texted me and asked me if we could fit her in our suitcase. She said she's going to she said she's like 4'11", $120. We can fit you in
she
there,
texted me the same thing.
Like Dennis, I like that. Look, we've only allowed 4 passing touchdowns so far and 2 by the Ducks. That's a good stat.
And those last 2 by the Ducks were the last 2.
But Denzel Burke's a bum and Iggy's a bum too, bro. What's up with that? I thought they were bums.
Yeah, that's why Maniac tried to tell me that today.
Man,
that they were bums
wild,
and that
bro.
the only good DB we had was Caleb Downs and that Latham Ransom was okay.
Okay.
That's what he said. So I just sent him all this information. Then he didn't say anything after that.
Yeah, look at Aunt Chris coming through. Trust me, if I told you guys my life story, you would know that I'm probably one of the luckiest human beings on the face of the earth. I'll just tell you, I should not be alive. I'll just tell you that right now. So what are your guys' thoughts as far as us offensively? Run that down for me real fast. What are you looking for? What do you think the coaches are really gonna zone in on? Like, what are they gonna run our offense around this game? Melo, start us off.
I think it's going to be similar. We're going to do a lot of gap scheme running. Depending how the O line holds up, which I'm confident they will, I think we're going to push the ball down the field. We're going to do the same thing. If they decide they want to man up against us, we're going to mesh them to death. But the last time, I'm pretty sure they mixed in a lot of zone. So we have to hit them with zone beaters and find little holes to sit down in, and then just take what we get and hope that they miss tackles. If they don't, then they don't, and we still going to do what we do. We're going to have a lot of misdirection. We're going to have a lot of eye candy and window dressing before the snap to make them declare what they're in. And then we're going to find our mismatches right there. Chip is really good at running the same play design pre-snap and then running a different play right off the same exact look. So I think it's going to be very confusing for them. It's going to be hard for them to contest with. And I think we're going to have a lot of success on offense. And to that point, there's not a DB in America that could guard Optimus Prime. There's not a nickel outside of maybe Jordan Hancock that could guard a Mecca. And Carnell Tate will destroy your third corner. So let's see what happens. I hope they play man. I hope they have the gall to play man, and that Dan Lanning is feeling himself that much. But looking at his presser, he doesn't look as confident as he did the first song. I could say it. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. Shout out Jeremy. He said the last 3 Rose Bowl games he's been to, the Buckeyes won. So even if I am bad luck, I'm outweighed, dude. He's got 3.
Oh, Jeremy, you there? Are you going, Jeremy?
Yeah, he said he's going, bro.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You got to come say hi.
Yeah, by the way, 3 of the Buckeye boys are going, dude. It's going to be me, Melo, and Brett all riding in the same car to the game. So watch out, Cali.
Yeah.
Watch out.
Watch out. That's trouble, ladies.
Might get. Oh, shoot. No, not for me.
No, not for Devan, but me and Brett are single. So any girls all on that Dev, Angie, I'm taking them. I promise you. I'm like, he's married. Me and him are single.
I want to say so many things, but I just can't. That'd be bad. It'd be bad news, bro. Bad news. I'm going to her house for Christmas tomorrow with her family, so I gotta.
Yeah,
behave. Man, that's serious.
I gotta be good. Yeah. By the way, I just want to tell everybody a little bit of bad news, man. I had to put one of my chickens down today, dude. Can you believe that?
Why?
Yeah. Well, Cujo.
Oh no.
What
yeah, man. Bro,
Want some fried chicken or what?
Cujo got a hold of its foot and chewed on it like it was a chew toy, dude. So its toes got all mangled up and stuff. And we tried everything, man. I gave it antibiotics. I soaked its foot, did the whole, but it ended up getting gangrene in its leg. And I took a hatchet out there and was ready to chop its leg off to try to let it survive. And family started tripping on me. They said, take a thing to the vet. So, we took it to a vet. They charged us $200 to put a chicken down, dude.
Dang.
$200. And I'm a little softy, but if they would have said that, I said, no, bring that thing back home. I got it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna tell you better than me. $200. Oh, we going out back. We dig.
That's what I'm saying.
You gonna help me dig this hole?
They didn't tell me. They just did it, and I was like, hey, bro. I'm like, dang, man. But it sucked, dude. But I only had 4 chickens. I got 3 now, and they're kind of like dogs. Like if we walk in the backyard, they follow me everywhere.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. They'll jump up and peck my hands because I think I'm feeding them or whatnot. So I don't know why I just shared that, but I did.
Does that hurt when they peck it?
Welcome. Sometimes it does. Yeah, there's one of the red chickens. I'm convinced that she's trying to kill me. Like I don't think she likes me. You know what I mean? She follows me.
Yeah, because you got Cujo. And she's like,
I know, bro.
With us.
I know. So hopefully the chickens learned a lesson. Stay away from Cujo. Most time Cujo don't bug them, but bro, raccoons, they eat chickens. Like in the wild.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, they will get in your chicken cage and they'll eat the eggs and they'll kill a chicken in a heartbeat, bro. So, yeah. So I thought the same thing, Taco. I thought it was dinner time, but then I second thought that a chicken with gangrene, I'm not sure I want to cook that thing up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I didn't do it.
For sure.
But, all right, back on track. Shaun, us on the offensive side of the ball against Oregon.
I want to see the screen game again. Let's get those running backs more involved like they did the last game, run some wheel routes. I think we ought to throw deep to stretch out the field more with the counters, the stretch play, not the stretch plays now, but the gap scheme like Melo was talking about really worked. That's a strength of the line now. So do that. Go with send JJ deep. The one good thing though, and Will Howard's going to kick himself watching the film. He missed Carnell Tate wide open for a couple of tutties. So I mean, they left more on the field last game, if you can believe that. As well as they played, there were still a few more touchdowns they left out there. So
Yeah.
I think they're really going to be ready for Oregon.
You know what I want to bring up real fast, and I think this was a huge difference in the game, and that's Will Howard, but an aspect of Will Howard that we don't really see, but we heard about it in the press conference. We heard that he was finishing Chip Kelly's play calls, and if you go back and watch the game, you can see how on point Will Howard was in the huddle, getting people where they need to go, communication. Communication with the team all around was absolutely phenomenal. The defensive side of the ball and the offensive side of the ball. But being this far ahead in the year is a huge deal, especially for an experienced quarterback and a smart quarterback like Will Howard. He gave a little. He said, I like to pride myself on my memory or something like that. He said something like that. You can tell he's just a smart kid. So I think that's a huge deal as well. Being this far along in a quarterback that you don't got to finish the play calls in your head. He's just so on point with the game plan and everything out like that. It's a huge deal. Yo, shout out Mark, the $10 holler. Appreciate you, man. Bucks 27-17. Another game, Iggy without a PI. Love it, bro.
Nice. That'd be nice.
We can't say nothing now. And yeah, Mika definitely, he proved he can throw the deep ball and tight windows. I never really doubted that. I might have said a couple things in the beginning of the year, like, dang, man. But I just never really doubted that he could throw the deep ball. Steve Powell. I'm not putting that one up there.
That one that Mecca was beautiful.
I got something I forgot to read yesterday about Will Howard. So his last 4 games, excluding the Team Up North game, his PFF passing grades, 90.3, 85.1, 85.3, 86.9, which is basically 87. That's good enough for number 1 QB in the nation, PFF grades. Will Howard is hot right now, and he's totally locked in, and I have full confidence in Will Howard, these players, and Chip and Ryan Day to scheme it up.
Well, he's playing with an edge, too. If you notice how the attitude he had with the media during the week, he had an edge to him. He was ticked off. I think he had enough of hearing all the crap, so he wasn't taking anything. I like when he plays with that edge, man. He's got that dog in him.
Yeah, go watch that. Go watch the Tennessee game again, and then come back at me and try to tell me Will Howard's not an NFL quarterback. I've heard that a lot, man. I've always thought that was kind of crazy to say because it's really hard to be able to tell whether a quarterback can play in the NFL or not. I mean, look at the number 1 pick from last year. I mean, a lot of people saw that coming, but a few did not. Clearly, the teams didn't. But I think Will Howard's an NFL quarterback all day long. What'd you say?
Yep. Jeremy wrote, yes, I'll be there. Jesus, take the will. Definitely will try and find you. I want to meet more Buckeye believers. Jesus loves you.
Oh, shoot,
shout out to my boy Trey.
Yeah, bro. Yo, Jeremy, shoot us an email at thebuckeyeboys with 3 Z's at gmail.com, man. We'll get your contact information and shoot, man. I'm going to be meeting up with a lot of people, so it'll be a good time, man. A good time for sure. So let's wrap this thing up with talking about just a few defensive things real fast. Obviously, we kind of hit on it already. I think we're going to see a very dynamic pass rush this game. I think we're going to see a lot of emphasis on no big plays. Jim Knowles brought that up in his press conference about Tennessee. They really focused on avoiding that, and clearly they did a very good job at it. So I like that game plan better. Like I said earlier, the more plays an offense runs against our defense, the more I like it. We just got playmakers all over the place, dude. You saw some of these hits from, dude, if you just go down through our defensive roster, it's kind of insane, man. Latham Ransom, Caleb Downs, Denzel Burke, Iggy, and Hancock. Jack Sawyer, JT, Ty Hamilton, and Tyleek Williams, dude. Sonny Styles and Cody Simon. That's wild, bro. Like, those are some big time players, man, and all of them are athletic freaks. So, good luck, man. You know what I mean?
And
Uh,
then you
go
got
ahead.
Cade McDonald and Reese coming in, man. I mean, we
Yeah.
got freaks on the bench too, man. There's no let
Edric
up.
Houston with his 7 foot long arms.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to see it. So, Melo, real fast, and we'll get this thing wrapped up. Just give us a quick, what are you looking for on defense in the game?
All right, Cody Simon, you set the bar, you set the standard. Now I need somebody else to crack somebody else's helmet and split it in half. But make sure you don't lower the crown of your head so they don't kick you out, because we need all of you this game. But like, I want to see a helmet get split open again. And especially if it's Dylan Gabriel, because I don't think he has the same toughness that Nico had. Nico is a warrior. Like, straight up,
Yes.
that kid is a warrior. He took some abuse. I know right now he's probably in the hospital getting some recovery treatment.
Yeah.
But, like, that kid, I salute him.
Yeah. Shaun?
I want to see more stunts on the line. I mean, we were doing that and rotating our defensive line, and they were getting all that pressure. We didn't have to blitz. We need JTT and Jack to play another game like they did last week. That was the best game that they played together probably in their whole career, where both of them,
Yeah.
I mean, usually one plays great and the other one's just average. Last game, man, they were both, great. So let's see that again. I think we'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, again, for me, my number one thing, rotation. Get these players in, man. With the momentum that Kenyatta Jackson built in his last game, get the dude in the game early, bro. I could see him, if the more power ends, JT and Jack aren't getting too much pressure on the quarterback, put a quicker one in, man. Put KJ in. So that's a good thing about what we got on defensive end. You got pretty two different types of ends that we can put in the game now and trust them with those reps. So, I think we're going to handle it on defense. I think it's going to be a great game. Beyond blessed to actually be able to attend this game with Melo and Brett. It's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be awesome. So we'll go ahead and wrap it up, fellas. We got another show tomorrow and another show Wednesday. So no way.
Hold on, we're going to go live on
don't.
Christmas Day.
Nah, bro. So check it out, yo. This is it. This is it for me anyway, I believe. Might try to sneak in here on
tomorrow.
No, I can't tomorrow, and I can't Christmas Day. I'm thinking Friday.
I can't Christmas either.
We can't Friday either, right? Are we leaving? Do I got to leave? No, we
What
can go
date
Friday.
is Friday? No, Friday's not. The Sunday is the 29th, so
we'll sneak in here Friday or Saturday or something. I don't know. One of the days.
Right.
We'll sneak back in here and get a rundown because I can't go. Closing thoughts, gentlemen. Shaun?
Let's keep it up, man. We get the momentum going. If we keep playing like we have been the last game, no one can stop us, man.
The Rose Bowl is ours. Jesus loves you. Trey told you. Now I'm telling you, and the momentum's on our side. This is these players have been touched, and they're gonna go out here and represent. And we're about to get this Rose Bowl win and head on for our natty season.
Yeah, I just gotta tell you, Christmas time, a beautiful time of the year. It doesn't stop the crazy world from turning. It doesn't stop crazy things, bad things that happen in your life. So one of a verse in the Bible that really helps me, Isaiah 43 verse 2 says, when you go through deep water, I will be with you. When you go through rivers of difficulty, you will not drown. When you go through fires of oppression, you will not be burned. The flames will not consume you. Those are all promises from God that he makes to us, that he will be by our side through everything that we go through, even the bad times. And he also promises that we're going to go through bad times. Win you. It's going to happen, man. But you're going to have God on your side. You're going to have brothers on your side. You're going to have sisters on your side. So just dig into those relationships that you have in your life. If you don't know the Lord, I encourage you to reach out to somebody that does and ask them what it's about, man. Because if you got a bad feeling in your gut about it, or you got a bad idea, then my guess is you've experienced somebody that told you they were a follower and they didn't really follow them. So don't let somebody else dictate your beliefs in your life. Don't let somebody else dictate your thought that you have about a certain religion. I'm not really big on the all religion stuff. I just got a relationship with Jesus, man. That's it, bro. And I don't judge anybody for
Right.
anything that they do, man. That's not my job. So just wanted to share that with everybody. We appreciate you, chat. We'll get back on here as soon as we can. Maybe give a little bit of a deeper dive into the game. But turn that the bell on so you can know when me and Melo and Brett are going live from the Rose Bowl. We'll keep you guys up to date the entire way, like I did at Oregon. So it should be a good time, man. A good fun time. So we appreciate you guys. We love you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, man. On that note, go Buckeyes. OH.
I
Yo.